go at Ollie. They were in the lanes next to each other in yesterday's semi.
So here we go, smoothly away. Ollie Zeidler, unsurprisingly, I think slightly conservative on the start, but what I say is this isn't particularly rough water, it's just a strong headwind. It's not like it's wavy on this course, it's just coming from the crosshead. So not surprised to see Antuskas leading, high rate, you can see it for yourselves, much lower from the Lithuanian, but all the crews getting into this fairly much as we'd expect.
There's Ollie Zeidler, and well, Antuskas leading out. Word is he's done a 6:30 in tailwind conditions back on his home course in Greece, which is kind of world's best time pace. And you know, the former lightweight from the Rio Olympics is going to be hoping, I guess, for good conditions like they were in Tokyo, rough and fast tailwind conditions.
Yeah, it looks like he's putting a lot into this first 250 meters. Don't know if that's a bit foolish with such a long race, but it's very dynamic. Lots of movement forwards with the shoulders, head and arms, and then firing everything to try and get his boat up to speed. It's currently working for them. He's leading out Ollie Zeidler, but I don't know how long that's going to last for.
Well, Ollie Zeidler's looking increasingly confident each time we see him in whatever conditions get thrown at him. I think sculling a bit longer than we might have seen him before as we're looking at Sverre Nielsen, who again we know, he's a very classic looking sculler, slides right the way up, gets those shins vertical, comes out over those riggers and looks really confident connecting up and moving the boat through.
Yeah, pretty impassive. We overlapped with him in Aviz when he was out there on training camp. He's done a lot of training there. Keeps himself to himself.
Okay.
Well, here's a turn up for the books. 500 metres, Stefanos Antuskas going through in the lead. Ollie Zeidler not leading at 500. We expect Zeidler to come through in this second quarter, but Antuskas, well, no one's told him the script that he's not going to win today, and he's just going out, and he's still leading, and he will go like this until he dies.
Well, no one told him the script in Tokyo either. No one expected him to win there, and he definitely did. So. Yeah, I mean, if he likes rough conditions, you're going to have a rough conditions to do a 6:30 in a tailwind, so rough conditions in a headwind, why not?
Yeah, nobody's got as close to Ollie as Antuskas did in yesterday's semi-final, and he's leading him now by that metre.
Well, early stages still relatively. I mean, Antuskas, great for him that he's up there now. He's at 36 strokes a minute, Ollie's at 38, but Antuskas looks like he's really working hard to be in that position. Ollie, for me, by comparison, looks like he's still within himself somewhat, but he's still got that lead. Or has he?
Or has he? I think Ollie Zeidler will just push through in this second quarter. Antuskas is still trucking, though. Sverre Nielsen will want to keep ahead of that Lithuanian sculler, Beliauskis, Giedris Beliauskis.
Yeah, I feel like the shelter of this middle K has just kicked in. You see Ollie's speed is just ticked up, and he is the fastest moving boat on the course, and I don't think he's changed very much in that time. He's just shifting out stroke by stroke now over Antuskas.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ollie Zeidler. As we look at him, he's just so good now at staying solid and in his lane, in his boat, getting connected well enough in these conditions compared to Antuskas. You can see he's just working so hard. Ollie Zeidler doing enough to just keep easing away, and it feels like he's now just taking, a centimetre a stroke and moving.
Yeah, and Antuskas isn't out of it, though. He can sprint. We saw that at the World Championships last year, where he nearly grabbed a medal, came right back on Tom McIntosh. So this race is not done and dusted yet. This man, Sverre Nielsen, born in the Faroe Islands, will want to get on the podium. He finished off it in the World Championships last year in 5th place, missed it in the Tokyo Olympics. Be great for the Danish sculler to get on the podium today. There he is in bronze medal position in the middle of that chevron. Well, the lead's extending now.
Yeah, as we expected, I think, especially given that Ollie Zeidler is in that favoured lane. It's not extending by a lot, though. It's definitely a margin that can change quite quickly in a single. As we've seen before at European Championships, Ollie finished off the podium last year in Bled.
And Antuskas will just go and go and go, and he'll want to put doubt in Ollie Zeidler's mind, and he'll want to put doubt in the minds of people like Simon van Dorp, the Dutch sculler, who came silver in Varese, in Tom McIntosh, the New Zealander, and say, look, I'm there, I'm going to reclaim my Olympic crown, whatever you guys do in Paris.
I think it's a great point, Martin, that whatever happens on the water here, and Tuskus is sending out a strong message with the way he is taking this to Ollie Zeidler.
Yeah, and you know, I think people will remember maybe if they saw the Olympic flame lit in Olympia just a couple of weeks ago to go to Paris. It was Stefanos and Tuskus was the first flame bearer, and you know, he's pumped for this Olympic year.
Yeah, we haven't spoken much about Sverre Nielsen there in lane 2. I wonder if it's a bit tough going, not having people side by side with him now, given that Ollie and Stefanos have both kind of pulled away. They've got a bit of clear water. It's very in his own boat. I haven't seen him made many moves to see if he can get back on terms. I wonder if he's thinking about just defending that 3rd place at this point.
Well, like you said, he needs to be self-contained. Sverre Nielsen sticking in his own lane. A great performance from Tuskus, because he's the one who's really challenging the weather conditions with the German out in front. Just to the left of your picture, you'll see the pattern is as you might expect it, with George Bourne in 6th position and the Scullers in 4 and 5 in 4th and 5th position.
So will Ollie Zeidler get a European Championship medal that eluded him in 2022 when he took 4th place, eluded him in 2023 where he took a bronze medal behind Lennart van Leeuwenhoek, the Dutch sculler, and Stefanos and Tuskus. He looks like he's determined.
Well, he's looking great there, and something interesting I could just see on that overhead shot was the way those waves were coming onto his boat, and they looked a little bit more straight on than we might have seen earlier on. So rather than having shelter with them coming from the left, they look like they're pretty straight. It's the whether that wind might have come a bit straighter as a headwind down the course rather than a crosshead.
And let's face it, the pressure is on Ollie Zeidler. I know he's got the favoured lane, but Tuskus, you know, was very close to him in the semi-final and has beaten him. And Ollie, yet again, it looks like the German has delivered.
Well, it's a little way to go yet. You talked about Tuskus and the sprint finish, and Tuskus will try and find it now as this water gets dirty, and you can see it's not easy conditions now. Pretty bumpy. But Ollie Zeidler still hanging on to that lead of about 14 metres.
I have to say they were great drone shots we were getting, right at water level, looking around the scullers. Back on the side camera, you can see Sverre Nielsen still there in bronze medal position, and Tuskus, he's the silver medalist. He's going to throw everything in to try and get back on Ollie Zeidler. But as they come up to the line, it is the German sculler who looks calm, who looks collected. He's going to grab a European Championship medal. It won't be his first gold medal, but it will be sweet. And the sprint, oh, it's the Lithuanian coming through. Sverre Nielsen's going off the podium, and the neutral athlete is sprinting too. It is the Lithuanian will get bronze, and Tuskus takes silver. But look at that sprint from the Lithuanian athlete, Beliskauskas, to get through. Thank you so much for pointing that